We are in Kansas City, Kansas for a overnight trip. February 23rd, 2022. There was a Walmart across the street from our hotel. So I wanted to check it out to see if it's any different than the St. Louis area. Kansas City, Kansas is about 3.5 hours from where I live in St. Louis. And so I just do a quick walkthrough. Sorry for my finger in the camera again. I noticed in a little bit. First off, I'm looking at all the awesome cakes. The Walmart I go to does not have an awesome cake bakery like that. I pretty much speed walk through this whole video because there's a snowstorm coming and I want to beat the snowstorm home. So their pre-packaged foods does look like no one has been maintaining it, and in the background you can see the normal counter service that serves hot food is not in business. Bananas is a little picked over, but mostly the fruits and vegetables look pretty darn good. And so now we're going down here to the breakfast sausages, a couple empty spots, bacon, a couple empty spots. But for the most part, the store's looking good. I'll go down the frozen food aisle just because one of my favorite commenters mentioned that she cannot find Pillsbury strudels. There is a couple boxes there, but as you can see, there's a lot of empty spots for the strudel usually are. And for the most part, I thought the frozen food section looked good. Yes, there was empty spots. Yes, a lot of the pre-packaged food had empty spots. But overall, there is still a lot of full spaces. I just mentioned this because I do enjoy watching other people's videos talking about their grocery stores. And I have seen videos where other grocery stores are a lot worse. As you can see, a whole bunch of empty spots right there. But the Midwest, it just doesn't seem to be that bad yet. I think definitely with, it is the end of February, and I just think with all the stuff that has been going on the last month and the stuff that's going to happen next month, I definitely think these stores are going to get a lot worse. But that's just my opinion. Only time will tell. That's why I like doing these weekly videos, so we can see how things change week by week. So that I just breezed by the packaged meat, and there was empty spots. And this is Lunchables. That looks pretty picked over. This was completely empty besides a couple hams, so I found that interesting. I don't know what was normally there. Beef is looking good. This is the corned beef, which is not out all year round, but because March is coming up, the corned beef is out. I love some corned beef and cabbage, so that is my favorite part of March. These are steaks, not, a couple empty spots, but overall looking good. This is like what is this? The ribs and stuff. Pork, definitely empty spots. And now we get to the chicken, and as you can see, wow, tons of empty spots in the chicken. I've definitely seen that on other videos where chicken is an issue, and if you pay attention to the news, I think the chicken issue is just going to get a lot worse. Here is bratwurst, a couple empty spots. Seafood, barely any seafood to choose from. Now, this is not my normal Walmart, so I do notice later, I do miss a couple spots. This is, what was that? That was some kind of frozen seafood. I don't know where the milk and eggs are. I think it's way in the back, and I end up accidentally missing it. I wish I would have seen what their milk and egg status was, but, and here's the frozen seafood, kind of empty. I wanted to check out the Coke because I've definitely heard of people talking about or Pepsi products, Coke products overall. There's shortage in some areas, but it's looking fine here. Definitely not as much selections. Like if you like specialty Cokes, you can't really find those anymore. Kind of have to make do with Diet Coke or Coke. Good luck finding cherry Pepsi anywhere. Pretty much got rid of all the specialties, and that's just too bad. It's just too bad. And let's see. This is the Pringles. Pringles looks picked over. Now I'm on the hunt for stuff that I know has had shortages. Again, I'm not familiar with the store, and I do apologize for the speed walking, but I'm a woman on a mission. My husband's in the car because it's 2 degrees and we don't want to turn it off because we have a 3 hour trip home. So the canned fruit looked good. It's my Walmart, it doesn't look this good. So definitely looking better. Um, the oil looks great. A couple empty spots, but overall it looks great. Sugar, I feel like it's just one brand. I don't know. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of sugar there, but didn't we normally have other brands besides just Walmart? And now this is the Velveeta Parmesan. As you can see, it's more generic than Kraft brand, so definitely Parmesan is an issue. Definitely lots of spots of in the pasta. That empty spot is usually like the meat pasta sauce. It looks like there's a lot, but honestly, there's like so much empty in the back. They're just pushing everything forward. Ramen noodles completely gone. So apparently this area doesn't get ramen noodles. My store has tons of ramen noodles. Pasta picked over, tons of empty spots. And this is, I'm looking for my favorite pizza crust. Of course, can't find it anymore. I have tried a couple of the other pizza crust. I just don't like it. So now, right now, I'm experimenting with my own pizza crust. And if I ever perfect it, I'll do a video. But right now, it's hit and miss. Still working on perfecting a pizza crust. Soy sauces looks a little picked over. Yeah, and I think this is like 8 a.m. this morning. I don't know if I mentioned it before. This is from February 23rd. So I'll post it tomorrow morning, so it'll just be a day later. Trying to stay up to date on these things. So that's why you don't really see very many people at all, because it is 8 a.m. and I'm sure everyone was heading to work. This is the Mexican taco aisle. Picked over. It's kind of hard to find hard shell tacos right now. And then salsas is looking fine. All right, this is the canned seafood, tuna, a bunch of empty spots. I'm looking at the chicken. They have tons of canned chicken. I have plenty at home, so I did not buy anything this trip. I am well stocked. I just look for a couple items that I hope I can find. Here is that Keystone beef someone commented on earlier that they can't find in their area. There was 3 cans. I did not buy any just because I feel like I'm pretty good on meat. So I, you know, I'm well stocked. That's all I'm gonna say. But I can understand people who need it. So hopefully you can find it. And Kraft cheese looks a little empty, some spots, still plenty left, but I think we get desensitized and it's like, oh, it looks great. When is empty spots normal and acceptable? And that's the issue. We start to be like, oh, this is normal, it's no big deal. Yeah, I don't know. When, 2 years ago, Walmart was well stocked, overflowing stocked. So now that it's like, 70% stocked, we're like, oh, that's just fine. Well, then what happens when it's 50% stock and everyone's like, oh, that's just fine. Well, before you know it, there's nothing left. And then what do you do? So I think, it's important because these stores should be stocked 100%. That's how they make their money. They don't want empty spots. Every empty spot is losing them money. And so saying that, oh, it was really not that bad. Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. It should be 100% stocked. So, yeah, is it like, like a war zone? No. But still, when you're used to certain goods and, you don't have access anymore, it's concerning. So, again, just my opinion. Getting ready to leave, I just wanted to walk by the fruits and vegetables again. You can see it is very nicely stocked. I wish my Walmart was like this. Pretty much the only empty spots like over here is like specialty fruits, like dragon fruits that's not grown in the US. So tropical fruits that just aren't that common or are not easy, to ship here. So perfectly understandable why those spots are empty. But, stuff that, apples, plenty of oranges. Sure, you can't get your dragon fruit, but you can get everything else. So it is looking pretty good. And then I just aloe. I didn't know Walmart sold aloe. Key limes. And that was, not that many, but I think that's a seasonal thing. Tomatoes, it looks okay. Onions looks okay. Overall, Kansas City, Kansas is pretty well stocked. But the normal stuff that we haven't been able to find for the last year, still the same. Can't find them. I guess I have to give up on my pizza crust. And I don't want to. I really want my pizza crust. So, anyway, see you next week.